Yo guys, what is up? My name's Dean and welcome back. Now, do one more. We've got to do one more game on Neil.fun, and today we're going to be having a look at this space elevator. We're going to see what we're going to get in this little elevator, and we're going to take our way up to space. We're going to go and see what can fly away, what happens at what heights, etc. I believe, I don't know. We're going to find that out together. As you can see down here, we've got the height that hummingbirds normally fly at. Fireworks normally explode at this height, which is like 100 meters, 150 meters. We've got hot air balloons natural height, which is about 700 meters off the floor. And then we've got the mallards migration altitude. So, welcome to the space elevator, the only elevator that goes to space. We're currently in the troposphere, the lowest layer of atmosphere. Also at 1,000 meters, it's the Blériot 11, the first plane to cross the English Channel. Flew at a height of about 1,000 meters. That's fair enough. So moving up, we've got some birds that can maintain this altitude. The troposphere contains 99% of the water vapor in the atmosphere, so this has got to be responsible for like the rain and shit. And this is where the level the rain sits at, maybe. But pigeons and hang gliders normally chill out around 2,000 meters. Going a little bit further, we've got the Mill V12, which was the largest helicopter ever built, 2,400 meters. So we've got the Nimbus Stratus clouds, which are responsible for the rainy days. So they're the clouds that cause the rain. A little bit further up, we've got the Alpine, whatever that word says, the Monarch butterfly, the bald eagle, and skydivers typical altitudes. Moving up a bit, we're going to pick a nice little scarf. I do have a dude just off on the left here, but I've had to get rid of the top of my screen. So we do get to pick a little bit of a scarf, because 3,500 meters up, it is going to start getting a bit chilly. We're going to go blue scarf. Box kites can fly this high. Mountain goats can chill this high. This is nearly 4,000 meters off the floor. How the hell are mountain goats still stable up here? Anywho, we've got the Vega 5B up at 38,000 meters, 3,800 meters, which is Amelia Earhart's plane. White storks can also fly up at this height. I don't know what that word is, don't at me. Are tall, towering clouds that can produce lightning, tornadoes, and hail. So if we come up to 4,300 meters, let's say, we can get the height of the Chilean flamingo. I'm sure flamingos are extinct now. Cessna 172s can also fly up at about this height. We've got the Mill Mi-8 helicopter, which I'm guessing averages around this height, as well as pterodactyls. Pterodactyls used to fly around 4,600 meters in the air, supposedly. We've got the Zeppelin. Let's call it 4,900 meters. Wild yaks can also go all the way up to this height. And apparently we have some elevator music. Does the elevator music actually work though? It doesn't. I'll add my own then. No problem. So we've got the lizard. Highest dwelling reptile is at 5,300 meters. That's pretty impressive. Bumblebees can fly to a maximum height of 5,500 meters. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Just going a little bit further up, we've got the Sopwith Camel fighter plane and the Bell 47 helicopter, which is used primarily to fly over the Alps. It says it right there. Funnily, I knew that. It's the only thing I actually know. Then we've got the bar-tailed godwit, which is another bird that can fly really, really high. That's up at a height of about 6,000. And then we've got some flowers in the Himalayas that can grow up at about 6,200 meters. And then we've got the Andean condor, which is also about 100 meters up, which is pretty cool. Himalayan jumping spiders can dwell at around 66 to 67,000 meters in the air. That's really weird. That you wouldn't think of a spider being up that high. And again, the same with the yellow-rumped leaf-eared mouse. I didn't know they could dwell up that high as well. That's fairly cool. Okay, let's move on. We've got the cirrus clouds, or wispy clouds made of ice crystals. So now we're starting to get into more freezing cold territory. We've got the Douglas DC-3, which flies roughly around at this height. Got the bearded vulture. They also chill around at about, obviously, 7,400 meters. Paratroopers max altitude. This is normally where they jump out from, about 7,500. So now we're moving up to something called the death zone. Above this altitude is known as the death zone because there isn't enough oxygen for human life. But the whooper swan, not an issue. And then obviously we've got the peak of Mount Everest here, as well as the bar-headed goose. The bar-headed goose can fly up to the peak of Mount Everest. Party balloons tend to go, what? We've got like 300-400 meters above the top of Mount Everest. I'm assuming that's before the pressure and the altitude pops them and deletes them. The common crane normally flies around at 9,500 meters. We'll go up a little bit more. We're nearly at 10,000 meters in the air. And this is the typical cruising altitude for passenger jets. Then we've got some Spitfires that can fly up at this height. Heaviest plane ever built, the AN-225 Maria. That normally flies around at 10,788 meters. Space shuttles, normally at about 11,000 meters. They normally hit max aerodynamic pressure, or as it's called out, max Q. This is pretty much the make or break for space shuttles. This is like roughly where they would see whether or not the shuttle would actually collapse in on itself. So we've got Ruppel's Groffen Vulture, highest flying bird, flies at about 11,000. Now it's time to pick a spacesuit. Which suit do we want to go for? We're going to go for the middle one. Now, as air pressure drops, so does the temperature needed to boil water. At this altitude, water boils at just 129 Fahrenheit. 54 degrees Celsius. I was going to say Fahrenheit. I'm not American. I don't use that. I use proper metrics. Yeah. So at this altitude, at 12,000 meters in the air, you only have to get water to 54 degrees Celsius for it to start boiling. And we've got the SA-315B Llama, which is the highest flying helicopter. A World War II fighter plane normally flies at this height around 1,200 meters. We're going to just shoot up. Jet streams are bands of strong winds in the atmosphere that can reach speeds of up to 275 miles an hour. Up here you've got the P-80 Shooting Star. We think this elevator is pretty strong. We hope this elevator is pretty strong. So up at this height at 14,000 feet, we've got the Learjet 45, typical cruising altitude. And we've got the F-35 fighter jet. Pretty impressive that people can get up to this height. This is about 15,000 meters at this point. And now we're about to enter the stratosphere. So the stratosphere is home to the ozone layer, which helps protect us from UV. I'm not expecting to see many aircraft up here, but I can already see that there's two. You've got the Sukhoi Su-9, which looks more like a rocket than it does an actual aircraft. And we've got this little thing here, the Caproni CA-161, which set the altitude record in 1938. Unlike the troposphere, the temperature in the stratosphere increases the higher you go. So, in 1948, the altitude record was reset in this plane. I'm not even attempting to read that. The Concorde's normal height was about this high, about 18,000 meters. The USSR-1, in 1993, the balloon altitude record was set by this. And this is the Armstrong limit. Above this altitude, your saliva and tears will boil if you don't have a pressure suit, which is pretty scary to think about. I'm sitting down on the floor in a jumper, but 200,000 feet in the air, all of my saliva and my tears and everything would just boil. The crust clouds are rare clouds found in the polar regions. They are made of small ice particles and scatter light in colourful ways. Actually, that's pretty cool. That does look pretty sick. Let's move on. We've got the first aircraft to break the sound barrier. Did it at a height of 21,000 feet. More balloons. High altitude platform stations up at 22,000. As the air gets thinner, there are fewer molecules to scatter light, so the sky starts to get darker. Hence why, well, shit starts to get darker. Highest altitude glider was the Perlin 2. I don't know when that was, but that was at a height of 2,300 meters. Highest aircraft ejection recorded, I'm assuming, is 23,800 meters. Then we've got the U-2 spy plane, which typically flies around at this height. Douglas Skyrocket, which was the first aircraft to reach Mach 2. It's pretty dope. I'm sure we can hit Mach 10 now, but that's pretty cool. And we've got the SR-71 Blackbird, which set the altitude record back in 1976. That was absolutely fucking amazing to hear. I love airplanes. Don't get me wrong. The SR-71 is one of the fastest planes ever made and can fly over 3 times the speed of sound, which is just absolutely mind-boggling. 1958, the rocket plane altitude record was set by the Sudquest Trident II. Pretty cool. At a height of 26,000 meters. And we've got the F-104 Starfighter at 27,000. Then we've got the NASA Helios HP-01, which is the winged aircraft altitude record. We've got the NASA X-43, which is the aircraft I believe that hit Mach 10, which is the experimental hypersonic aircraft. I know there's I think there's another few models of this plane as well. Well, I think there's another few models of this. Project Excelsior in 1960s, the skydiving world record was set by Joseph Kittinger. Jumped from an open gondola and set a record that would last more than 50 years. Until 2010 when that Felix guy, he did that and all, didn't they? So weather balloons come up to about this height, about 31,000 feet. Pretty cool. Ash clouds from eruptions that destroyed Pompeii reached this height. Oh damn, it's 32,000 feet in the air, man, that's high. The highest paper aeroplane flight was at 34,800 feet. Launched from a balloon. This is the highest a paper airplane has ever flown. I imagine it to be true as well, because obviously there's not a lot of there'll not be a lot of gravity keeping you to the planet up here, but yeah, Felix, that guy, was the first person to break the sound barrier in free fall. He reached a speed of 843 miles an hour. This was part of the free fall. This isn't even where he jumped from. This is 36,000 feet in the air. Man hasn't even jumped yet. Man is falling. Congratulations, you've made it 0.01% of the way to the moon. Fabulous. Got the Bell X-2 here. Mushroom clouds from the Castle Bravo nuclear test reached this altitude. Damn, how high did the Tsar bomber get then? If we're, what, 40,000 feet in the air and the top of a nuclear test hit, yeah, the Tsar bomber was, what, one of the biggest nukes in the world, and I haven't even hit that yet. Alan Eustace's skydive, the current record for the highest skydive. Is it, though? Space elevators are actually a possible idea being considered by scientists. They could potentially offer a cheaper and safer way to get to space. The hard part is making a strong enough cable and finding enough elevator music. Okay, so this is... Okay, now we're starting to get into actual space territory. So we've got the airburst altitude of this particular meteorite. I don't want to try and butcher that name, I'm afraid. Space shuttle boosters normally eject around 46,000 meters in the air. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. The Sutter's Mill meteor breaks up at about this altitude, which is 47,000 feet. Ooh, look at that! Blue jets offer a rare form of lightning that arc upwards in a brilliant blue flash. That's gorgeous. I'd love to see that. Now we're moving into the mesosphere. The mesosphere. That's the one. The mesosphere. We're now halfway to space. The air in the mesosphere is very thin. It has less than 1% of the pressure as there is at sea level. Okay. The highest altitude balloon record is at 53,000 meters. The world's fastest elevator travels at 46 miles an hour. A space elevator at the same speed would take 80 minutes to reach space. Thankfully, it's not going to take us 80 minutes to do this video. We're already 15 minutes in. So we've got the sounding rocket. Since weather balloons can't reach this height, rockets with sensors are used to learn more about the meosphere. It's fair enough. Oh, there was a big gap there. We've got Saturn V first stage separation at 61,000 meters in the air. Keep saying feet. Keep going to say feet. There we go. The mushroom cloud from the largest ever nuclear test, the Tsar Bomba, reached this altitude. There we go. So the Tsar Bomba's mushroom cloud reached nearly 65,000 meters in the air. That's insane. And the damage it will cause as well. We've got a big long jump here. There's nothing here. Oh. What in the Cthulhu motherfucking having ass is this? Sprites are a rare form of lightning spotted over thunderstorms that only last a fraction of a second. While normal lightning is around 4 kilometers long, sprites can reach lengths of 50 kilometers. If they're red as well, that would be amazing. But they only, just a fraction of a second? I don't think you'd be able to spot them. Space shuttle re-entry, 71,000 meters. Since the speed of sound depends on the temperature, sound travels 15% slower up here. So what, we're talking like real life lag. I say something and then it's like out of sync. It'd be like the last video, be out of sync, 15% slower. Oh god, noctilucent clouds are the highest altitude clouds in the atmosphere. They're only visible at night and at higher altitudes. Okay, moving on. Most meteors burn up in the meosphere. It is estimated that over 48 tons of meteors hit the atmosphere every day. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Although then again, I suppose it depends on the size of the asteroid, because one asteroid could be 48 tons. Making it out to be something more than it's not. We've got the V2 rocket's peak altitude up here at just touching 80,000 meters. Means we've got about 20,000 to go. The Falcon 9's first stage separation didn't happen until 82,000 meters in the air. That's pretty cool. This is the coldest part of the Earth's atmosphere. We're talking 84,000 meters in the air. And now we're moving on to the thermosphere. So, welcome to the thermosphere, the final layer of your journey to space. At 100 kilometers high, the Kármán line is usually accepted as the start of outer space. Temperatures in the thermosphere reach 2,500 degrees Celsius, but molecules are so far apart that you wouldn't even feel it. That's fair enough. See, we've got the VSS Unity up here. I think this is also another project that was used to test the limits of things. You know, how high can we get things? How fast can we make things go? We can also see we've got the Aurora Borealis creeping up in the background here. I wonder if we're going to get a nice little tidbit about that. So we've got the Vostok 1 on the way to space. I don't want to be this guy, but Vostok kind of sounds like it would be Russian, so it could be a Russian Soyuz capsule. As particles from the sun hit the atmosphere, they excite atoms from the air. These atoms start to glow, creating a brilliant display of light called auroras. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we've got the Aurora Borealis, something I would really, really like to see in real life. We've got the X-15, which was the highest flying rocket plane at 95,000 meters. We'll go a bit more. We're about to reach a place fewer than 1,000 humans have ever been. Now leaving Earth. And here we have the Kármán line. So technically, now my little guys in space. And that's it. That's the end of that. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit that like button, and don't forget, if you haven't already, just to hit subscribe. I noticed that 89.5% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I think we should change that, definitely. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.